Good morning, ladies. This is Diane Tuggle from the Happy Scrapbooker, and this morning we're going to do some fall-inspired cards. We're going to be using some specialty paper and a different trim than I've ever used before and a couple embellishments. So this is the first card, and I love the tones, the blue and the grayish blue and the browns together in cream color. It's kind of sepia toned. So this one says, thinking of you brings joy to my heart. You could make a masculine birthday card, a thinking of you, a get well, a Thanksgiving card. So here's another one. We're going to be making both of them. This one says, you're simply the best. So that I love the colors in both of these. And we are going to be using a couple of different products. So this stamp set and die set is called Branching Out. So we use Thinking of You Brings Joy to My Heart inside of one of the cards. And we use these beautiful concentric inverted label dies. So they have the corner is inverted, and there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and there's some beautiful berries and a pine cone, pine boughs, lots of great words. So we're going to be using just the label dies. We're going to be using from Beautiful Pumpkins. We're going to be using these dies right here, these two that look like a vine and leaf. So I got those out, and then this is the main one. We're going to be using this beautiful oak leaf and acorns, and then the pumpkins and gourd and corn. And then I use You're Simply the Best in one of them. So these are red rubber stamps. They have some really beautiful dies. These two didn't come with it. I stuck them in there. But this is a beautiful background die. So these are just from another old retired set right there. We're going to be using this embossing folder to step it up a little bit. It's called Pressed Flowers, and you will notice there is no embossing on this one. But for the next two cards, we're going to try the embossing folder just to see if it steps it up a little bit. We're going to be using specialty paper called Textured Metallic Paper. It has bright copper, gold, and tungsten, which is like a steel color. So here's the copper that we're going to be using, and this is while supplies last. It's on sale. And then this is the steel color, the tungsten steel color, and then the gold. Whoops, that's a copper. There's the gold. So we'll be using that. And I love how very vanilla goes with this cloud cover. Those are the main two colors we're using, and then there's that copper. So my card base and my labels and my stamping is done on the very vanilla, and then my mat is the cloud cover. So let me show you again. This is card 1 and card 2. We're going to go ahead and work on those. I did already stamp the inside. Thinking of you brings joy to my heart. So I have to be careful when I put them together that I use the right card base. And then this one says, you're simply the best. And I used my Cajun Craze ink for that. I used Memento ink for stamping the images. And then we have some embellishments. They are called antique pearls. And there's, I think, 1, 2, 3 sizes of them in there. They're really nice and flat, and they don't add any bulk to your card base. So Your card base is 1/2 of an A2 sheet of paper. This is 8.5 by 5.5, scored in half at 4 1/4. And then your mat is 4 inches by 5 1/4, and you can see I ran this through the embossing folder, and then I added this trim. The trim is called, I forgot to tell you about the trim. It's called Irregular Weave Trim, and it's an open, lightweight trim. It will not add any bulk to your project. So let's see if we can find our card base, and we will, I think we're gonna, yeah. No. I put that ribbon on there. Well, we'll go ahead and color first, and we'll add our bases in just a little bit. So you can see that I cut out 2 of these in the copper metallic and one of the smaller ones in the cloud cover. And then I cut out an assortment of leaves and twigs and things that we use. And then I do have alcohol markers, and that's why I use the Memento black ink pad, because it's compatible with alcohol markers. So let's do our fall leaves and acorns first. I'm going to be using my Spector Noir tri-blend, so they have light, medium, and dark in the marker, and this is the earth brown blend, and I have earth brown shades that also has that in it for the acorns. So we're going to start with the light, and I'm just doing the acorn, the fat part of the acorn. I'm going to leave a little blank space, and I'm starting with the light, and I'm gonna add the medium for some shading, and I'm just adding it where the shading is done by the artist. And I'm gonna do my stem in that color. Now I'm using the shades, which are darker. So I'm going to start with the light. And this is for the cap of the acorn. And you can see how much darker it is. This is still earth brown, but it is the shades instead of the blends. And so it's much darker. So that's all you need for that one. And now we're going to do the leaves, and I'm going to do them in the cloud cover Stampin' blends. So I'm just using the lighter one. If you don't know, our Stampin' blends come in a pack of 2, and it's a light and a dark of the same shade of color in each package. So I'm going over the whole thing in the light. And then in the dark, I'm going to use the nib, and I am going to add some shading. Make it darker right there where the leaves cross each other. I know leaves aren't blue, but we're going to take some artistic liberty here. So that is that one. Let's see, I should have a leaf in the blue, and I don't have one. So if you'll bear with me just a minute, I'm gonna go over here and cut one blue leaf out of this scrap of cloud cover. I'm right behind you at my die cutting machine. I'm just gonna run it through. That's simply all it takes to cut it. I forgot I needed this. Use my pokey tool to get my little leaf out of here. I love the detail in the Stampin' Up! Dies. They are beautiful. Okay, I needed that. Okay. So here is our first image, and we're going to go ahead and stick it on here. And I am going to pop it up with Stampin' Dimensionals. Let's see if I have a pack already open. Let's see. I have all these edges I think I'm going to use up. Get my scissors out here. Some of them are already cut. So always use your edges of your Stampin' Dimensionals. Don't just use the inside and throw it away. They work wonderfully. And I need a little skinny piece for that stem. So I'm just gonna cut that off the edge and peel off the backing and put that right there. And I could use one more little piece to fill in right there. Okay, so we're gonna just stick this on here like so. And then I have one copper leaf right here, and let me get this ink thing started. I'm telling you, it clogs up. When the amount of ink gets low in it, it does clog up, but when it's full, it does not. However, I do love this thing. It's easier on my arthritic hands. So we're gonna stick this in here. And if you ever do like I just did and put glue where I didn't want it, just take a Post-it note, get the glue off. There we go. So now we have this blue leaf, and I'm gonna just think about where I'm putting the glue this time. Just stick it down right in here. And then we have the center part of the copper leaf, which is like a little sprig by itself, and I'm just gonna stick that in there too. And I'm not fitting it in the leaf thing. I'm just adding it like a twig. So there's that. And now I am going to put this on top of the copper label. So okay, get this one used up, and I'm gonna put this, try to center it right there. That looks really pretty. I'll add my little gems in a minute. Now we're going to go on to this pumpkin. So the pumpkins, I colored them in the light cloud cover. So let me see if I have one in here somewhere. Okay. Usually I have a Sharpie, but I do not have one. I'm trying to, there we go. When I have light and dark markers and I don't want to have to stop and read whether it's light or dark, I just put the Sharpie on the end of the light color one. That way I can tell when I pick it up it's light. I don't have to add any labels. So I'm using the brush tip and I'm quickly coloring in this pumpkin and this pumpkin right here. Make sure you get all the little pieces of it. Okay, now I'm going to use the dark shade of cloud cover. I love this color ink. It's just so pretty. It's between a gray and a blue. I hope it never goes away. I hope it's one of those ones they keep forever. This color is very useful for shading, for adding shadows. And it's such a pretty color in its own. So that is all the cloud cover. And now I'm going to be using, make sure I pick up the right one, Blend Earth Brown Blend. And I'm going to do my stem of my pumpkin. And I'm starting with the light. And I'm going to do this gourd. Basically all the other little pieces. So I'm going to do all these pieces up here that look like wheat. And I'm going to go over this trendle, or whatever you call that curly thing. Vine, I reckon. Pumpkin vine. And I'm doing the leaves. And this, again, is all in the light. And then I'm going to go underneath Mr. Pumpkin. And I'm going to leave my corn cob empty, or not colored at all. I'm going over the corn leaf and this big leaf right here. I'll show you a close-up when I finish. And then this ground right here. And see, oh, maybe we'll go a little up here too. And then I'm going to take my blue and I'm going to make little dots on the corn so it kind of looks like Indian corn. So it's blue and white. And then I'm going to take my shades, blends, which is darker, and I'm going over a couple of places to shade. Okay, I think that's enough. So here is a close-up. Can you see this is why I call it sepia tones because it has grays and browns and creams. And we're going to go ahead and glue this one, or actually we're going to use our dimensionals to attach it to this label. So we're going to finish up these edges here. That one is done. Let's see if I have another one. These are all small. I know I have another one that's little ones. Here we go. A couple more big ones. Okay. And then go ahead and put these on. We're going to stick it down here toward the bottom. Then we cut these little vine leaf and vine. I'm going to put it up here maybe so you can see it. Let me put it on this so you can see what they look like. They're little leaves, and they're the perfect size to add a little shimmer to these pumpkins. So I'm going to put one on this one and one on that one, and I'm just going to glue them flat because there's so much detail. I hope I'm in camera. Okay, there's one. Make sure they're all glued down. And we'll put this one going off to this side. So I think that copper paper really is a nice addition to cut out in those leaves. So we've got both of these panels done. Now let's go ahead and put our card bases together. So for the one with the oak leaves, we need, I was thinking, this one for this one for the other one. Okay. So we're gonna put a little of that ribbon on it. And I'm just gonna put a little tape here on the edges. This ribbon is so soft, it will not add bulk. So that's all. It just takes a little bit of it and make sure it's going evenly. Now let's add some adhesive. So you'll see me going back and forth from wet adhesive to dry adhesive. There's different reasons for that. And I like the dry adhesive when I'm doing a panel like this. Unless it's something unless it's a surface that's difficult to stick to. This is nice and thin, and there we go. So that added a lot. So now we're going to put this one on. Shall we do this way? Or no, we'll do this way because we can see our pretty berries up here. So I'm going to go ahead, and this one's got a little more weight to it. So I am going to use the wet adhesive. And plus, when you use wet adhesive, it gives you a little more wiggle room to get it in position. So we're going to put that just like that. Hope I have the right card base. Yep. Okay, now we're going to add some of our flat pearls. I'm going to do 5 of them. So I'm going to do one up here. Okay. So that's 3 there. And that's 5. So that finished off that card. So see them side by side, with one has the embossing and one does not. And my position of my label was a little higher on this one, but I like it because I can, it looks nice with that coming above it. So that's the first card. Put that one right there. Now let's do this card. Make sure I get the one and make sure it's going the right direction. Okay, there we go. On one of these, yeah, on this one, you see I put a little blue piece of paper in here. I accidentally got it against the black ink and it made a mark, so that's why I did that. But it kind of dresses up the inside when you add some colored paper or some DSP, which is designer series paper, on the inside. So you can do that. Covers up your mistakes. So this one I've already put the ribbon on. I'm going to add my tape runner to the back. Okay, my tape runner has jammed up. Let's get the other one. Okay. There we go. Going again. And I'm just going to give the back a good coating. And we are going in this direction. I think I like my ribbon down a little lower though. I will do that. I will move that. There. So the front panel is 4 inches wide by 5 1/4, so it leaves a nice 1/8 of an inch border of the very vanilla around it. And there's our ribbon. And here is this panel. Now I thought I would do it this way this time to show more of that coming down. And I have these little sprigs that were in the set. And I'm gonna put them coming out of there. And I have an extra leaf. Let's see. Do we want him on there too? No, I don't think he needs to be on there. How about this long sprig? Oh, I kind of like that. I like that. I like that instead of this one. So we will do this. We're going rogue here. I'm going to use the wet glue again because it's heavy, a heavy piece, 2 pieces together, and it will give me a little time to put it where I want it and put it down. And then I'm going to use the wet glue on this tiny little detail because see the tiny little tip to the glue dispenser. Okay, I like that. Kind of like a little arch. And I have it coming, and it's right on top of that ribbon too. Let's press it down real good. And let's put some of these pearls on here. So I'm going to put the big one. Let's see, let's put some on here, like their little flowers. Put them like that. And put one little one there. And I put one onto the pumpkin. So that's 5. So this is the 2 cards finished. Let me press that down just a little bit right there. So there's 2 versions of the same card. I love these pumpkins, and I love them in the sepia tones. So let's put all 4 of them out here so you can see them. And then I'm going to tell you about a contest that I'm having. So from now, which is I believe the 18th of September, it started on the 15th until oh Lord, the next month is October. Until October the 15th, I'm having a contest where you can win the stamp and die set called Delicate Pines. This is a beautiful stamp and die set. This is a card that I made with it. It's a fun fold card. Look at all the detail in those dies. It has this die in it. It has little berries. It has the pine cones in 2 layers. More berries. Little sprigs. I'll show you another card. This one I did in the tans and blues. And I put the little blue sparkles in here, cloud cover sparkles. So this is a background I stamped, and these are all the sprigs and pine cones cut out of the dies. So in order to win this beautiful stamp and die set, I'm trying to grow my YouTube channel, and I'm trying to grow my Facebook group channel. So when you go on Facebook, let me see if I can call it up and show you. It's real easy. So on Facebook, just click on Facebook, go down here to groups. It'll come up your groups, and you have to ask to join the Happy Scrapbooker and Card Maker, which will be in the link for this video. So you can hit the link and ask to join it, and then you will go to the Happy Scrapbooker and Card Maker, and across the top there's some tabs. It says You Chats Featured. Feature is what you want. Here is your contest, and it tells you that you can enter up to 3 times, and these are the rules. You're going to use hashtag Fall 2025 Contest in the top of your post. That way I know someone has entered. You're going to make a post using a winter or holiday themed card with snow or snowflakes somewhere on the card. You're going to use Stampin' Up! Supplies. They can be retired, and you're going to list the supplies you use. You have until October 15th, and the value of the stamp and die set is $56.50. So I hope that you will enter. Once you have entered 3 times, if you do, I'll be contacting you and sending you a free gift. It might be a roll of ribbon, it might be some Stampin' Dimensionals, it might be a marker set, but I hope that you will take the time to enter, and when you watch this video, please subscribe to my channel. Let me know you subscribed. Even if you subscribed previously, just send me a note and say I'm a subscriber. That will help me to know what's going on. And so you don't have to make a card with this, because of course you want to win this. You can just make any card that has snow or snowflakes on it. And it can be a card you made previously. It doesn't have to be a brand new card, as long as you use some Stampin' Up! Products and it meets the rules. So post them on my Facebook group page, and I'll be looking forward to seeing it, and I hope somebody that loves this Stampin' Die set, there they are, will win this beautiful set, and I'll be mailing it to you. So thank you for watching, ladies, and make sure that you follow the links. I hope you'll make one of these cards. Please share my videos. It helps me a whole lot. Thanks.